We're back and you're watching News Channel 3 live at 9. Question for you this morning. When can a book about social skills be so much more than a guide to etiquette? When we're on the tail end of a 26-month pandemic that severely limited young people's interactions with others following years of increasing use of technology that already challenged kids' ability to talk to people. Catherine Newman can help kids develop skills that we used to take for granted with her new book, What Can I Say? Good morning, Catherine. Welcome to Live at 9 here in Memphis this morning. So good to see you. A lot of people on the surface may think this book is just about social etiquette, but it's much, much more. Why did you explore so much in this, especially for our young people?
Thank you for asking that. I love that you said that. I mean, I already just love that you said that about etiquette, because I don't care if the young people use a salad fork correctly, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't care about that kind of etiquette. But yeah, relationships, you know, it was already hard. We already wanted our kids to look up from their phones when we came home from work. And now a lot of kids have been kind of shut away and they have social skills they need to practice. We want them to practice them.
And Catherine, as you mentioned, especially in middle school, life can be very difficult for a young person. But let's talk about some of those interactions and how to improve them, not only with maybe other classmates, with other family members, but others in the community as well. Where do you start?
Yeah, it's it's a really good question. And the book tries to take kids from kind of the beginning. Hi, my name is Catherine. All the way through kind of conversation building skills and having difficult conversations, how to be a supportive friend, how to be a community ally, kind of how do you make the world a better place. And so we think of that as almost like a progression, but the truth is it's all happening all at once. And we know that the foundation of those skills is empathy. What's it like to be somebody else? If you can imagine that, you're really on your way, and we really want our kids to practice imagining that. What does it feel like? My best friend's parakeet dies. What would it feel like to be that friend? Would it feel better if I maybe put my arm around her? Those kinds of generating of empathy skills.
I understand what you're saying about empathy for others. At the same time, though, Catherine, what about maybe do you explore how to be more independent? How can a young person perhaps even stand up for him or herself?
Yes. So yes and yes. I think the idea of being able to say what you want and need, to be able to ask for help, to be able to say no, these are huge human, important, vital life skills. And we really want our kids to have those skills, even as we simultaneously want them to be able to say yes and to be able to say, what can I do to help? So just balancing. And if you think, I've written the etiquette column for Real Simple for 10 years. And I would say that if I were going to summarize 10 years of questions, it is, how do I balance my needs with the needs of other people? It's such a fundamental question. It almost sounds stupid to say it, but that's the basic question of human life. It's what wars are about. I want this, you want that. How do we figure this out? How do we each get what we want? How do we compromise? How do we hear each other?
And Catherine, you also have me wondering, I know the focus here is on really trying to increase those communication skills for kids, but what about parents? Where do they fit into this? How can they be a part of this conversation at the same time?
That's an excellent question. I love that, because really we are, we're modeling on the one hand for kids. So I always say to myself, it's like a mantra, and maybe I reveal too much to say this, but I used to say when my kids got home from school, I used to say to myself, get off your phone, look up, that basic. Are we asking them to practice things we're not actually doing? So are we looking up? Are we making eye contact? Are we being good listeners with our kids? Because they're going to learn that from us. Are we asking questions, expressing curiosity? Do we support them when they're low? Do we, offer a loving ear? All of those things, that's how they learn to be that person for somebody else. So I think it's really vital for parents, but also it's really challenging. We are torn, we're pulled in a million directions. So just to keep recentering, our relationships are the most important thing in our lives. How do we nurture them?
And one last thing, Catherine, the illustrations in the book are also pretty cool too, to help tell the story, to help give that guidance.
Yeah, I love the illustrations. They're by the brilliant Debbie Fong, who is not only just a brilliant illustrator, but just like a sort of queen of empathy. She really loves kids, understands that what I want for the book is for it to just invite kids in. You can just practice. You can see the cover, feel invited to pick up the book. It's not going to lecture or scold you. You could just look at the pictures even, read the speech bubbles, and she just gets that and is funny and delightful, and I love her.
All right, Catherine, thank you very much for your time. So good talking with you this morning.
Great talking with you too. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, hopefully some adults will read it as well. I think we all need it.
I know. You said it. Okay, thanks.
Got you covered. Thank you.